Um, Good afternoon. We're here at Shalom Elementary School, and this is January 2011, and I have a wonderful group of kindergartners here that we are going to be talking about word families today. Have you guys heard about word families?
Yeah.
What is a word family? Who can tell me?
It's the same that the ending sound has the same word.
Very good. The ending sound sounds the same.
At the beginning, the teacher asked students to share about what they know about the word families. And I think that is good because the teacher doesn't have to tell the student what word family is. And then student can share their opinion, and that makes student to get involved. But the problem with this is that the student, they will feel not that engaging if they don't know the answer, so they cannot get involved in the conversation.
Let's see. There's another one up here. What is this?
A cheetah.
A cheetah, but what kind of animal is the cheetah?
A cat.
A cat. Can you come up here and show me how you write the word cat? And I'll hold the marker down hard and move it quickly.
C. It's over by the D and B.
Go hard. Get moving. C. Beginning.
Okay.
Moving. A.
T. T. I see it. T.
Yep,
T.
it is. We're moving. Yay! Good job for you.
You're fast.
Excellent job. He did it very, very fast. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this and put it over there.
Students will have more cognitive engagement through this kind of experiential activities. But the only problem is that not everyone can use the technology to practice in class.
And today we're going to go to Starfall. Okay, we're going to go to Starfall. Your computers are already on Starfall.
That looks like. How do you do stuff all the time?
And we're going to go to Learn to Read. Learn to Read because we're doing word families. Do you see the word family right here, the at family? Let's click on the at family.
Make a word with at to match the picture. Cat.
Cat. Can somebody come up here and make cat? Come over here and make cat. Show us how we do that.
Neither.
Push harder, baby. Push harder. There you go. You got it.
Cat.
Cat. Good for you.
Hat.
Who can do hat for us? Good job.
Rat.
Who can do rat? Oh, just one for right now, okay? We're going to do a rat. Where's the rat? Right at the top. Go ahead and reach it. You reach way up there and push hard. Can you reach? You can do it. Moving up there. There we go.
At.
Rat.
Bat.
Yeah. All right, great job you guys are doing.
You know that. Cat. Hat. Rat.
Yay!
As you can see, students can use the interactive whiteboard to practice the at sound words such as hat, rat, bat, and they can practice that and memorize the at sound so they can use them in the future. And I think that is important because scientists have proved that people can memorize things through the actual activities, and I think that's important for the teaching. But there's one thing, really small thing about the video sample is that the students are kindergarten students, so they are still too short to reach the top of the screen. So I think it's also really significant for the designer who design the activities to notice what kind of students are they going to teach, so they can design the suitable
Good for you. The next thing we're going to do Zach the rat.
We already did.
Zach, yes, we did.
The activities is to teach pronunciation of alphabet A by using melodies. While students are seeing these melodies, they can become more and more engaged in this activity, and they will memorize the pronunciation A in a very easy and fun way. While they are using it, they will become more and more impressed to the pronunciation and to this activity, so they will not forget it.
Okay, who's going to read this for us? In other words, it's Zach. Carter.
The. At. Rat.
Okay, you click on the arrow, go to the next page. You guys ready for the next page?
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's see. Can you come do the next page for us? Can you read it for us?
Is. At.
Let's get rid of the word and click on Zach and see what happens. Good job. Your computers are at Starfall right now, right? Okay, so you're going to go to number 2. It says Learn to Read. You're going to click on Learn to Read. Let's see if it's going to let me do it. There we go. And then you already did At and you did Zach the Rat. So you could do some of these other word families. Are you guys ready? You ready to give me a silent cheer?
Yes.
Let's quietly go to our computers. Good job. Yes.
I'm already thinking that I'm
Your expressions, look via just text in the words that show up here. Please use these words to fill in the linking verb that fits in that particular sentence. All right, let's see what we chose. Okay, so we chose are or were. Let's see, 56% of you chose are, 28% of you chose were. Let's take a look at the sentence again and see if those both make sense. The children were gathering around the campfire. Thumbs up, that makes sense? Yeah, that sounds right. Or the children are gathering around the campfire. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, there we go. We have 78% chose was. We have a couple kids who chose is. And then I think this was supposed to be was, but you just got an extra letter on it. So we would throw that into that group. And were, looks like this should have been were. Let's take a look at the sentence and see, and put it back into the sentence. Remember how I talk about put it back into the sentence, read it inside your head, and say, does that sound right? Does that make sense? Okay? Megan thought her mother's story is the best she had ever heard.
In these activities, the students were asked to text their answer by using phones, and the teacher received the answer from every student and illustrated them on the whiteboard. I think it is a very effective way because the teacher can receive all the answers from every student and make a statistic of the percentage and the number of students who got the wrong answer and who got the right answer, so that the teacher can clearly figure out the situation that whether most of the students have acquired and fully understand the target language. Then he can choose whether or not to teach or explain the target language again. I think there are still many advantages of this because Some of the students just guess the answer. Some of them may guess it right, but they just don't know the target language about its meaning and form. So, I think to solve this problem, we should add more exercises and drills.
They might have read heard wrong. They might have read heard wrong because the D makes it past tense.
Yeah.
So you would have was.
Sometimes we're only talking about one person, right? And the mother's story. So is for that singular. So maybe that's what a person was thinking. But yeah, that past tense. She thought and she heard and she had ever heard. Gives us that indication that those are verbs and words that explain that it's past tense, that it already happened. Okay? 78% of us said, no, it's not correct. 2 of us said, yes, it is correct. Let's take a look at it. Who said, no, it's not correct? And will you come up and change it for us?
I just changed am because am is not an action verb.
Okay,
And I have to change play because play is not a linking verb.
thank you.
Okay, nice. There you go. Okay. Remember how you change over here? You go, okay, I'm gonna, this one, is that redo? There you go. So now, since you're on the pen, or there you go, switch to highlighter. Okay. Okay, 65% of us said yes, 18% of us said no. Let's take a look at that in the pie chart, just so we can see what the difference would be. And then unanswered would be the expressions that were in the container over there. So yes. All right. Some of these are linking verbs. Some of them are actually helping verbs, and we'll be talking about that again next week. Are you highly confident, confident, a little bit confident, a little bit unsure, unsure, or highly unsure? Let's see how you feel about it. A couple more seconds. All right, let's see how we feel. All right, looks like most of us are highly confident. We've got some that are confident. We've got some that are a bit unsure and some that are highly unsure. If you are in this category, you might want to come see me, pull me aside, say, yeah, this is, and let's talk so that we can get this.
In this part, the teacher leads the students to analysis action verb and linking verb. She projects the materials onto the interactive whiteboard, just like a screen. Cooperate with the interactive whiteboard. The students could easily correct the errors in the article by a special pen. For example, there are 2 leads on the screen, action verb on the left, linking verb on the right. A girl with glasses points out one mistake from each list and changes their position by pen on the interactive whiteboard. There is another practice to find out the linking verbs. We can look at the article on the screen. The teacher chooses 3 students to do the same exercise. They underline some linking verbs like is, are, was, were, and so on with the pen. And then, according to the students' changes on the whiteboard, the teacher can count the students' answer and show them in a pie chart. This can help the teacher to know about the study situation of students. Finally, the teacher can do a class review for students and get feedback from them. by the interactive whiteboard. She asks the students to do a self-assessment. How much confidence do they get from this part? She shows the answer in a bar chart on the whiteboard so that the students can recognize their level in the class. The students who are in the last category on the interactive whiteboard will come to see the teacher after class and have a talk one by one. So we can see that the interactive whiteboard is really useful in the teaching procedure. It can join the class and become part of the class. It can be useful for teaching in a direct way, which can bring more interest to the class.